No, it has name tags.
We're high up here. It's great. Check. That's one of my very fancy.
All right.
Familiar faces.
Okay, thank you for joining us, everyone. We have the number 2 seeded Maryland Terrapins here. We have players Faith Masonis, Abby Myers, and Diamond Miller. And after this, we'll have head coach Brenda Fries. We'll take questions from the room first. If you have a question, please raise your hand, say your name and affiliation, and please direct who your question is to. And they will answer it, and then we'll go to questions on Zoom. So if you have a question on Zoom, please use the raise hand function or send me a chat, and we'll get you a question. So with that, we'll start with Kareem in the front.
Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
This can be for any of y'all, but I'll start with Faith. Just what's the vibe around the team right now? You know, you guys work all season long to kind of get to this point, and it's finally here. You guys sound very cheery from the hallway, so what's the vibe just like in the locker room?
You can hear us?
No, you guys are really quiet.
I think coming in today, everyone's kind of, it's like a realization moment. It's coming full circle. We've been working since the summertime, and we're finally here in March and the best time of the year. So being able to get our gifts today, we got all this nice stuff, and it's kind of just coming like it's lock-in season. And it's really just coming full circle. And for a lot of people on our team, it is their first time being in March Madness. So it's really exciting. Everyone's, it's really excited to get to practice and, get locked in on film. So I think everybody's good vibes all around.
We'll go in the front right here. Wait.
I'm Sam, Terrapin Sports Central. Thanks again for coming out, guys. I was just wondering for any of you, when you play in the Big Ten, it's obviously a very physical league. You kind of get used to teams, that type of thing. And then now you get into this tournament setting, and you're playing teams from all over the place, Boston, potentially Arizona, it's teams across leagues, cross country. You're getting national officials. What do you expect to maybe change from the Big Ten league and how you play to now these tournament games? Is there any difference, and what would that be?
Abby, why don't you take that?
Yeah. I think that, if anything, that's to our advantage, right? We've been playing bigger, physical, more talented clutch teams, and that's not to discredit any, mid-major or whatever team that we're going to face. They're going to bring their A game just like we're going to bring our A game. And I think the biggest thing for us is, to not kind of look back, to appreciate and be grateful for our journey and how much work we've put in. But I think right now it's, as Diamond always says, it's a new season, right? So we have to take what we've learned, the lessons we've learned, and, just the overall connection that we've made as a team throughout the entire year, and just apply it to this game, play our game, stick to our fundamentals, and come in, as Faith said, locked in and as prepared as we can be.
Go to this side right here.
Andrew Chodas, Testudo Times. I guess for really any of you guys, all of you guys up here as seniors, from your first time being in an NCAA tournament to now, kind of reflect on that and how you guys have grown and just the vibes and the emotions kind of for this tournament from your first.
We could go all of you here. We'll start with Diamond.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how fast 4 years goes by. And when you're in the midst of freshman, sophomore, even junior year, you kind of feel like this is forever. Like, I need to get out of here. And then when you're a senior year, it kind of just goes really quickly. So, I think just because the way we ended last year, I think it puts a lot of fire in our hearts because we're really excited for what we could do this year and obviously do better than what we did in the past. So we got a little fire in us, so it's very exciting to see what we could do.
Abby.
Yeah, my freshman year, actually, for the NCAA tournament, we went to NC State, and first round we played Maryland. So it's kind of a weird, switching sides kind of moment. We lost by 20, but it was, it kind of just, it's also a really cool thing where, my freshman year, when we knew we were going to lose by the end of the fourth quarter, and I just saw my seniors get subbed out, walking to the bench, crying and hugging their teammates. As a freshman at that time, I was almost like, I'm going to miss these guys, but also I'm so glad I'm not in their position. I can come back next year and keep playing. But, now I'm that senior, and this is officially my last year. And, there's just like a different feeling approaching each game. This could be your last collegiate basketball game ever. And because of that, there's almost just this like increased intensity that, for me, I want to bring my best game for this team. And if anything I've learned, it's any team can be a unicorn team. Any team can be the best, just this amazing team coming out from the blocks. So we have to be as prepared and as ready mentally, physically as possible.
Faith?
I think for me, looking back on like all the years going into the NCAA tournament, freshman year obviously got cut a little short from COVID, which is kind of that year was taken away from, Diamond and I know Abby, Yeah, that year would have been ours.
Said two.
No, we actually would have won it. I don't know what happened with Princeton. I don't know y'all, but we actually would have won it.
But yeah,
at least Final Four.
But yeah, that would have been a deep run for us. And then I think the past 2 years, we made Sweet 16, but it was a little shortcutting for our liking. But this year we're coming out spitting fire like dragons on the court and just coming out really excited for what we can show people. And getting that 2 seed means a lot for all, and is just showing the work that we've put in from the summer to off the court, on the court, in the classroom, and just moving forward, we want to come out and play our best basketball, and we're really excited.
No.
Hi, Noah Trister with AP. I'm curious, Diamond, you saw sort of the roster turnover this team had since last season. How have you seen Brenda kind of mold this team into sort of the style that she likes to play, I guess?
I think lucky for us, this wasn't the first time this happened to Maryland, so she kind of understood what to do. So it was kind of like, okay, back to the drawing board. We got a new group of girls, and let's regroup. She's the head coach and gets paid the way she does for situations like this because she knows how to always recover. So yeah, I think this is what she does. That's why people come to schools like this, because there's no letdown. No matter what, she's going to put us in the best situation she possibly can. And I think knowing the newcomers coming in and what she had left, she was able to put in the game plan and execute the plan for this team in order for us to be in the situation we are today. So yeah, she did her job,
She's pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Back to the front here.
Diamond, kind of going off the question I asked earlier, when you get out of the Big Ten a little bit, teams aren't seeing you for a second, even third time with Iowa. How excited are you to kind of get out of it and maybe have a little scouting tendencies, get to that Euro step a little easier?
I feel like the scout is going to be the same, but I feel like even from our perspective, watching scout on film and playing them in real life, it's too different. Because sometimes this girl is a shooter, but you see on film, you could be like, oh yeah, she has a quick release, but you don't really know how quick it is until you're live in action. So I think it's a fair game for everybody, because just like how they could scout us, but they don't know how we actually play in person, and we're gonna scout them too. So it's an even playing field for everybody, and yeah. Makes it a lot more interesting, put it that way.
Any other questions for the student athletes?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks. I'm taking this.
Everyone good? All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We're joined by Maryland head coach Brenda Fries. We'll take questions from the room first, and then if there's any on Zoom, who would like to get us started? Kareem?
Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. Hey, Brenda.
Hi.
It's been a long season at this point. What's kind of one last message before you kind of start the postseason? You guys have been through, so many battles throughout the year. What's kind of one last thing that you say to the group before you guys get this part started?
I don't know if there's one last message because I think you're not going to change who you are at this point. So it's just continuing to be us, I think, is the most important thing. And, I think the thing we've focused the most on these last couple weeks is just fine-tuning the details, understanding that it can come down to a possession where it's a communication piece on the defensive end, box out on the glass. So just kind of really fine-tuning the details.
Who else? Noah?
Hey, Brendan. Noah Trister with AP. Wondering, obviously, the transfer portal is a pretty big part of college sports right now. It's been a big boost to your team this year. I'm wondering when you were, I guess, looking at which players to bring in, how much did you have your specific style of play in mind when you were, overhauling the roster?
Yeah, the transfer portal is, a part of our game, and I think you can see over the last couple of years we've had a lot of success within the portal. I think it's important. Our staff does a tremendous job, kind of vetting through it, where we need to know who the kid is, and like you said, whether they fit our style of play, and that's really important. Being able to score the basketball, being able to run, getting out in our transition game, being able to rebound. So. A lot of different pieces and factors that go into it, and I think it's a job our staff does extremely well.
Go in the back.
Hey, Coach. Simon Bugg, CTV Sports. So, in earning the number 2 seed, you guys obviously have, home court advantage. Just kind of talk about how much it may mean to you, how much it may mean to you and this team to, open up the tournament early against the home crowd.
Yeah, it's a really important priority. That's what all teams try to work for, is that home court advantage, and rightly so. The fact that you can kind of keep your routine, sleeping in your own beds, and having your fans, with the energy that our fans bring to the table. I think we also recognize that the number in front of your name, being a home seed, hosting on your campus, doesn't guarantee you a win. And so I think just understanding that we've got to do the work for the 40 minutes within that game, but also understanding that we have a tremendous opportunity to utilize our fans to bring a lot of energy for us.
Go back to Kareem in the front.
Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. You guys were able to mix up so many different defenses throughout the year, even throughout singular games. How beneficial is that? How does that come into play now where you're playing different teams and you've got so many different looks in your tool bag that you can use at any given moment?
I think it makes us a difficult scout when you're going back and watching film on us. I think it's a credit also to our players that they've allowed us as a coaching staff to be able to scheme and scout different teams based on personnel and style of play. So this team has done it better than most, and it's a big advantage when you can change up defenses on your opponent.
Noah?
Yeah, Brenda, it's been a pretty big year for the Big Ten. You have 4 teams, I think, on the top 3 seed lines. Is there a sense of solidarity wanting the league to do well in this tournament? And I guess how important is it for the conference to sort of follow up the regular season you guys had?
Of course, this time of year after you've been beating each other up all season long, you're all Big Ten, and you want each and every team to move through the bracket as far as possible. So credit, I thought the schedule, the conference really prepared us for now to see how many teams are hosting, and like you said, top seeds is a great thing to be able to see. But now just understanding that each and every team has to continue to use what we did during the conference slate and take that into this tournament.
Hey, Coach. It seems as if like Holy Cross really kind of wants to grind the game, play slow, rebound, try to maybe force you into a couple mistakes you wouldn't normally make. And obviously, you guys like to get out, rip and run, transition, that type of thing. When it's such a different stylistically matchup, as the favorite, do you try to maybe make them play your way, or do you try to just dominate like in the way that they want to play?
Yeah, I think both staffs and styles of play, you're going to want to dominate the way you play. And that's the exciting thing when you match up against anyone, is you want to see who can win out. And so I don't see us wanting to lend to their style of play. I'm sure they don't want to lend to ours. So that's the beauty of the game, and putting the 40 minutes together and seeing who's able to outlast the other.
How do you not let it get bogged down in terms of game styles? Really trying to get out and push it, especially, or what's your plan heading into that?
I think both ways. Like defensively, you need to be really, really good with who you are, and then on the offensive end, you need to value the basketball. If you're turning the basketball over, that's going to lend to a team and their strengths. So it's just valuing the basketball.
Is there anything else from anyone in the room? All right, we'll take one from Zoom. We have Nathan Snell.
I'm really excited for those three. They've had a tremendous year for us. Is a big reason why we are where we are today. That energy that we're getting now, from all three of them off the bench, and again, it's starter minutes. They're coming in and they're so valuable to our team with their defense, with their offense, with their rebounding, and it's critical. But I'm excited for all three of them in this tournament, and to be able to showcase what they're able to do. Thank you.
Is everyone good? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.